We're in a situation we've never been in before. Version1 is down 2 maps in the grand finals of a Game Changers tournament and is on the cusp of losing out to an Evil Geniuses who's just picked up Haven in wonderful fashion. Welcome back to Game Changers North America Series 3. I'm Mimi, joined again by Potter and Wyatt. And Wyatt, just to start, it seems unbelievable the situation we're in.
Yeah, to understand the weight of the situation with EG defeating V1 on Haven, V1 have won on Haven 10 times in a row this year in all of Game Changers. They've only dropped a max of 8 rounds on it to any team, and EG just beat them here, picking the map into them. That level of confidence in their counter-stratting, and now they're on the cusp of beating the best team in GCNA all year and making it to champions off the back of that while having their deepest run ever with 2 new players.
Yeah, and it's just unreal the way that they're doing it as well. I mean, the entirety of this Haven map, it seemed like EG was in full control the entire time, through and through. Sure, there were some signs of life early on the defense side for V1 where they were starting to re-clear. You really saw those mid-rounding abilities coming through strong for Mel, and I thought, okay, here's the version 1 that I'm used to seeing. But it just wasn't enough. EG, again, one step ahead. I mean, there was even a round where Noya broke perfectly the KJ turret for the side of EG, and EG still didn't even rotate at all. So the reads, the prep, incredible stuff from the side of EG.
You really have to give credit to Thea, who again has only been the IGL of this team for a few weeks and is putting this together in what is the biggest match of this EG squad's career here in Game Changers. But Wyatt, talking about that prep, you had something you wanted to point out in round 8 here.
Yeah, one of the cool things that they were doing on this defensive side, something that I haven't seen, honestly, any team do against this double wall comp. They were running a lot of the Odin, and it was doing a great job breaking the codes. You can see that right there. Alexis thinks she can plant in that safety net that the Harbor provides to you, and the Odin just rips that away in seconds. And when that attacking side of V1, they're trying to make their way, through the chokes where typically the walls are going to be blocking off the defensive players. That Odin spam was just lethal, doing damage, finding kills. That's just an awesome adjustment to bring in, and it's one of the reasons why you can see that they picked V1's great map right into them. They were ready for it.
Yeah, and that adjustment, I mean, it's so key, right? Because I've been talking about Power Pixel for the past week consistently because of their breach play, because of the utility, and because of the timings of this fault line that just perfectly tees up Kingsley time after time. But I was not ready for this Odin. I was not ready for this type of suppress fire, just get in there and not allow any player of version 1 to get any sort of space. And so that adjustment coming through just overnight and having that sort of pocket strategy, that's huge stuff for the side of EG.
And the other step up I think we were seeing in this second map was Lori, who Potter is continuing to prove such an asset to this team since her addition just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and you can consistently see Lori's kind of problem solving in the server as well. I constantly saw her setting up, trying to set up and tee up for those Hunter's Fury side plays. And it's hard to set it up on the attack side, but in turn, it resulted in just controlling the pace and really getting the sites for free because Lori was always ready to just proc that ult and gain that space. So kudos to EG, kudos to Lori, and it's good to see that Lori's performing at that high level again on day 2.
Yeah, this EG side, they bring in Lori, who has so much experience playing with Shopify over the last couple years, year and a half, however long it had been. And you see the experience paying off here. In the last 2 days, the stats, phenomenal, has stepped it up significantly as the pressure has gotten higher, the tournament run has gotten deeper, and the stakes have been raised for this EG side. That a player who's stepped it up.
Continuing to improve is Lori, and it seems like she is peaking at just the right time. But there is still much to play in this series. We're heading to map number 3 next, which will be Lotus. And Wyatt, we've talked a lot about how unbelievable, how weird this situation is. V1 having to reverse sweep to win another Game Changers, to maintain the streak that some of their players have of already 8 Game Changers tournaments in a row. It seems like if anyone could pull off a sweep like this, it would be V1.
Yeah, it can't be understated how insane EG have done in this series so far. Both of their best maps banned, Version 1 playing their best maps first, and EG take both of them. We haven't seen V1 play on this map since Game Changer Stage 2 either, so don't really know what to expect.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect either. I mean, okay, it's good to see that fluorescent is kind of shifting away from the neon, because that was kind of the flavor of the month a little bit ago. Going to that raise and should provide that exact utility for the stopping power that you absolutely need on this map. I'm a little bit nervous as well. Version 1, as you say, Wyatt, they haven't played this map since July, and a lot has changed on this map. And if anything, EG has shown us that each time they've lost on a map, they just come back stronger on it the next time. They're learning so much, and this composition that Version 1 are shifting to is Shopify's comp. Exactly, it's Complexity's comp, and these are the games that EG have gone neck and neck with and again learned. So the prep, I think, is going to come up huge for EG, and Shopify, they gotta Version 1, they have to do more than dig deep here. Each of these individuals that we've been consistently highlighting in the Mel, the Alexis, the veterans, they've got to step up here and dig deep.
Well, we are one map away from the biggest upset in Game Changers history. If EG could close out here, they would be the first team to ever beat Version 1 in a series, the first team to ever eliminate this core from a Game Changers tournament, and they book their ticket to Brazil. We'll have to see if they can do so on map number 3 of Lotus, back with Doug and Ball.
Thank you so much, Mimi Ball. We had questions at the beginning of the series where we went, can EG close a map? We saw it went into overtime. They pulled it off. The second one, more decisive. And now we have to ask the question, yeah, you've closed 2 maps, but can you close a series? Can you close the series against the best Game Changers team ever?
Yeah. And that's not even an understatement, right? Mel and Alexis have won 8 Game Changers, 9 when you talk about overall the women's circuit, right? They've won every single major tournament in North America. It's not an understatement. These 2 players are so storied, and they put some of the best players in this circuit around them at this point. So, yeah, this is crazy. Can they close the series? Or will it be a reverse sweep from Version 1, which, of course, has never happened in Game Changers because they've won every time. But this one is an interesting map to end on to me because they're kind of mirroring each other in terms of the comps. You heard Potter talk about it. This has been the flavor of the month. Fnatic usually runs.
Keen2 is ahead of everything. Sorry to cut you off there. Keen2 is ahead of everything, and Floor gets her with an aid.
That's huge. Taking the orb too for Floor. They're gonna farm even more. 2-2 split right now to take B control and A main control, and it's gonna work. Sarah's pushing them so far back.
You see the teams that are really excellent on Lotus. That's one of the things I've noticed that's a trend is they just min-max, they farm every orb they can before they decide where they want to go and just find so much value out of that. That Satchel hurt. What a 1-2 combo. Man, that sucks.
That's crazy.
Spike down
Satchel
B.
boosted them up.
Yeah.
Spike falling here gives a lot more time for these 2 players of EG to work.
One enemy
I
remaining.
don't think it's going to be enough.
No, I don't think it is. Starbound's able to get the first, the second not going to connect, the spike down, and the round in favor of V1.
And that's 2 big pistols in a row for V1. Wasn't enough on Haven, but this one, very important to get started finally, maybe on a good foot on one of these maps, because it's been a hot streak of probably 4 maps in a row where it's been slow starting.
One enemy remaining.
Let's go back even to the Shopify series. Why I say that. The thing here about, EG playing Complexity, Version 1 playing a very similar comp. Again, just the Omen for the Astra. Version 1 playing the more thematic Fnatic comp. The thing about it is V1 have not played any maps. That's a fantastic spam from Floor. V1 have not played any maps of this since GC2, right? They've been completely avoiding it. So in terms of prep, you're coming out without knowing anything. You're thinking maybe they run that Neon comp still,
Right.
Probably, but no, they've just been hiding it. They've been cooking.
Floor just got another with the Guardian. Didn't get to see that one.
I'm glad we're watching Noah try to take on these 2 players, though.
5 bullets left in the chamber of the ghost. And 4 players of version 1 waiting for the swing.
Yeah, I've seen literally that exact situation every time you watch this V1 team. Because so frequently, it's just like a 4v1 at the end of the round.
Yeah. We're about to start the 3rd round,
Yeah.
and Floor is 1 away from the showstopper.
Yep. It's very normal, I would say, actually, on Lotus for every good Lotus team. And I think, especially when you see like their bind ideas too, with the Yoru constantly getting the ult up, V1 has a fantastic macro understanding of orb farming, of min-maxing your ults like we were talking about. I think I give them the advantage over EG in that specific regard. And if it's a key factor, what makes V1 good at this map, then you know for sure it's going to be active here. They do get it up. They're ready to hit over towards that C site.
Right into the teeth of the Killjoy utility. You've got the 2 nanos and the turret looking over the top. And if that wasn't enough,
EG's reading it.
you have 2 members here as well.
EG is reading it, though. You've already pulled over Quincy a little bit.
Floor has gotten aggressive. There's the ult. Connects onto Starbound.
Look at that hit her. I thought that was going to go high, but then it got to here anyways. Odin spam here is perfect. Exactly what we saw. You heard Wyatt talk a lot about how that was perfect to counter the Viper Harbor from V1 on Haven. And here it's actually bought them the time to continue to fight before the spike's down.
Black is patient on the swing, man. You go a half a second earlier, and Lori gets a kill on that. Such a good sense of time and awareness of the situation.
Planted. Flawless.
This is an outrageous start for version 1.
Yeah. I mean, virtually flawless on every round so far. That's exactly what you want. Coming out here, and they've got 5 rifles too. They picked up every single one they could on that bonus. So it becomes even stronger. Floor out to a 7-0 start. This is crazy. You know, I was thinking to myself, at the end of last game, man, I wish we had a Shopify Rebellion cam right now to watch what they're doing. But I think now if we ended up having one and showing it, they'd probably be chilling. They're like, oh, okay, finally. Finally they're playing for us. Because, of course, their fate relies on this outcome. Their fate relied on EG not doing the impossible.
And you know they're watching. Getting vibes of EG qualifying for Tokyo. Or qualifying for playoffs, excuse me.
Yeah, anything. Feels eerily similar, doesn't it? 2 weeks this team together.
Yep. Marshall for Starbound, a Bucky for Power Pixel. And a deep flash
Spike planted.
to secure Mel getting the spike down. 3-player flank from EG. The turret's going to cause some problem. Unless they're ahead of it. Well, or. Oh, that
Oh, that
flash,
nade.
the nade, the parent, all of it.
They're getting pinched now.
Yeah, they are. And they're stuck. Can they find their way out? Vulnerable. Does a kill lands? They're going to pop this thing open.
Oh, the wall
Just
just
2
went up.
rifles left.
It just delayed for a little bit, but the dog as well. Can they get on the spike? They need to.
Have to do
Ooh.
it quickly. What a shot from Keensey.
F4 can't deny here. Is this spam possible? There is a spam available to Floor.
I don't think so.
And you can spam through that wall. That's what I'm talking about. For that plant would be ridiculous, but no way.
How many times do you say version 1 and thrifty rounds and issue there?
I mean, at least like 6, right? It's getting a little ridiculous, no?
It is a trend. It does seem to be a trend at least.
It's more than a trend. It's a guarantee.
Yeah.
Every single map we've watched so far.
I need to blow something up.
It's happened at least once. And that's not, you know, V1 are supposed to have just started the momentum, the streak going forward after winning that bonus. And now here they are. Still facing that Odin. Facing a bank from EG now. Facing a bolstered EG after losing a few.
Sarah's ahead of this, and Thea has no idea.
Oh, that's a big mistake from Thea there.
Yes, it is.
That's the greatness of that wall from Sarah. You can creep outbound. You can creep so many different places and scale so effectively. And she's doing it again indoor.
Keensey waiting on the other side of the wall to swing as Sarah gets another. Takes a little bit of damage. Gonna get top right back off by Alexis. And they're gonna get out on A for free. What do they even have for a retake? I mean, Lori has 2 flashes. PowerPixel has 2 mollies. Starbound has 1 as well.
Yeah, in these situations, it's more about picking off individual players because the post plant is just so brutal.
Yeah.
When you get this plant on the left side of the box on A main, look, all the players are coming out of door right now, so they can just play the spam.
Floor is on an outrageous flank, by the way.
Yeah, that's a reflank too.
I mean, the timing, if it works out, the problem is if Version1 crumbles before it gets into a position, never mind.
You know where the Odin is too.
Right, Sarah has had an outrageous round.
This is crazy. Flora actually just stopped. You know why? She just stopped and didn't go forward towards this kill. She's trying to give it up towards Sarah. Being very disciplined in this instance. Just that thrifty round changes everything though. Because here you're supposed to be looking at it, you know, a 4-0 after winning the second gun round. And then another save round out of EG. In that case, that's finally when EG's like, okay, we understand how they're playing. We've gotten 6 rounds under our belt. That's the sort of thing that's like, things can change for the game plan for EG. Things can change for the players even in terms of confidence building. Once you see how a team that's never played this map in this event so far is playing, you get to understand it. That's why that streak for V1 is so important.
You are divided.
Well, I love this Cosmic Divide. Threatens so many different areas.
I bet EG doesn't care. We've got one player on C just spotting, knowing, listening to what's going on, and they can't get in. So that Cosmic Divide kind of wasted in this instance. It does make you a little scared about what's going on elsewhere. But Noya in perfect position. Yeah, this is great. It actually just pulls off all the rotates so that nobody's denying this rotate for Noya.
Flash over the top was nice to confirm things. You're gonna have to wait out this lockdown though. I say that, the word's pushing forward. Hello. 1 for 1. A little bit of time bought.
I'm glad that happened because I was scared for a second that we were going to see another 5v5 retake in this series. For V1, it has not been successful in these close situations.
A is on the flank, the alarm bot's up, the turret is too.
Door's open though, and that's a pinch that becomes a lot more difficult. They smoke it. That gives room for Thea to play actually right now. Which is good.
Gone aggressive. Another tap at the door.
It's actually okay here because they have so much presence, but if it was only 2 players playing post here, it would be very dangerous to give Thea the space.
You got to be careful here too, because while all of this attention is being drawn towards Thea and towards PowerPixel, 2 members from EG are taking sight. Spike is ticking away though, and it's been going off for a little while now. Time is short. Door tapped for what feels like the millionth time is this time. Finally, PowerPixel gets a kill, but there's just not enough time on this.
Yeah. Yeah, the site, giving up the site is exactly what V1 want there. Especially after they recognize that it's Thea on the flank.
What's so
They know that's the smoker. If they can take her down, eventually.
Visual senses too.
There's not really a
They're
risk
called
of that
eyes.
post plant going awry. They need that smoker up. And yeah, it'll be a timeout out of EG here for sure. Get the coach involved now that we are past that halfway mark for this half.
There it is. I mean, I know it's very early. Version1 is a very strong team too. This would just be the most ridiculous anime story comeback of all time. For like to cap off an undefeated year.
Yeah.
With the reverse sweep like this. Like, come on, I mean, right?
It's just like the biggest tease ever. You guys thought we'd lose? No. Surely not. Surely not. Training weights moment. I mean, Lotus is a tough map. If a team has been hiding the Fnatic comp for an entire series, an entire event, it's something so difficult to prep for. This is, I mean,
Right there.
this comp has led to probably the most dominant games of the year in the main VCT circuit. I would not be surprised to see Version1 as dominant on this map without having to show it the entire year. Not the entire year, excuse me. The entire series.
Right. On the other side of timeout, we'll see what EG can cook up. You got Thea, who's very close with the judge. You gonna slip that? Oh, I thought for just a moment she was gonna push the wall.
Now with
Gotta
their
judge,
team
man.
running away.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Thea. I thought Alexis was gonna go through that wall.
No. She holds though, as both members are still just separated by a wall towards A. They just farm up another orb.
All of this, and you know what's crazy is that early on in this game on the pistol round. Remember, Kinsey went to challenge this C mount and got punished. Ever since then, the only aggression coming out from EG has been towards that A side. And guess what happened to that? Got punished.
Yep.
Got punished. So
There it is.
you're starting to see an EG that's a little bit more defensive, and you're starting to see V1 recognize that and really ramp up the orbs. Getting picked up all over the place.
I thought they were going to stick that for a moment. That's a good paranoia. Shield judge. No, it's a Vandal now. And she pushes forward.
As the
No,
spike
they,
running into the showstopper.
They pass right by each other, and Kinsey's waiting on the other side.
Ridiculous. That right there, they pivoted 3 times. V1.
Yeah.
Not surprising that's the amount of orbs and sights that are on the map, but that costs them, right? Because you don't have the same amount of util to be able to take everything. There's never any freezing, never anybody really working picks in Alexis. This is what I was talking about. Actually, that early fight where we thought Theo was gonna jump on her. Out the revolving door, but eventually Alexis does try to take the fight by herself, and that's definitely because the clock is winding down way too long. She thinks she has to make a play on her own. We're going back to the same aggression. Should be quite nice. At least deny something from V1 earlier on in the round.
Hidden showstopper online for version 1. Meanwhile, Starbound 1 point away from the lockdown.
They're doing such a good job pressuring down any KJ user. Satchel getting as long as possible to do as much damage as possible to whatever is here. Ooh!
That was clean.
I mean, not just doing damage to the KJ, he's still doing damage to the GSL as well. A classic here from V1, pitting to try to pressure out. But this is actually something that it was EG who did this on
Thea, where are you headed? I thought for a moment Thea was going to be able to hit the second. That was a little bit of damage onto Mel, but very forward play.
These offside pits are so cool too, because Sarah has just threatened this lurk for so long that you could already see Starbound being cautious, Kinsey being cautious. Look, they're walking when the spike is going down outside of B right now.
That's just so smart.
And again, I think that's literally something that they stole from Bind from EG. You saw that in the final round of that map. That was what happened.
It's controlling areas of the map without being anywhere near it. Starbound on the tap. See the flash come around as the fight's going to go down in Tree. Kinsey not able to convert onto the second, but Starbound does. 2v2. Start to see the molly. Start to see a lot of that presence come through. The turret up as well. And this crossfire. Is there a tap on it? No, it's a little late. Starbound not able to convert as Noya gets 3. Version 1 get another round.
That's what I was talking about. That A post plant just way too hard. Even if you get the kills on site, even if you clear out the revolving door and tree, there's nothing you can do against 2 players just holding at that door. You have to take the fight to them, and they almost got it. They almost did. Good call from V1. They're really now starting to use all of the tools that they've gained so far on this map towards a clean victory here.
Certainly has the makings of it. Desperately needed as well.
I've got your trail.
Lori looking 2 marshals. Well, that's one of them down. 2 rifles with it too as Floor satchels forward, clears out the turret, looks for the swing, drops it just the wrong time. Thankfully, Mel's there to recover.
They're going to get the plant in that same position too. Can Mel get out? Yes. With that, chances of V1 losing this round become slim to none.
Yeah, I mean, borderline non-existent. Look at how well the flank is considered. You've got the turret.
Smoke
You
the
have
pop.
a few members playing off site. Mel's gotten 3 on the round. The shot's gonna miss as well. Tough situation. Stays feeling all of that pressure. Version 1 gets to 7. This has been an absolutely insane first half.
Yeah. Not exactly what you're expecting going into this one after EG go up with the 2-0. V1 with resilience here in this series. Not showing any mental drainage after the first 2 maps. They were very close. They were incredibly close, both going the full distance in regulation, both within 2 rounds, the smallest margins possible. And you can see now too, V1 not able to punish the pit, but they're also not super concerned because
Yeah.
they're happy to deal with this situation. They've got enough information that they know they're not pressuring A, and we can creep up on that. Normally, if the Raze is somewhere else, if the Sky, the Omen are playing elsewhere, that means it's just the KJ here. If they could just get through that, then everything is perfect here. Starbound's even going to have to fall back and maybe play her ult.
PowerPixel is ahead of this, but, I mean, actually, there's no alarm bot or anything. Oh, there it is. Instantly gets struck.
That's ridiculous. It's very rare we see the Raze ult used to break the lockdown, but
Yeah. That's one way to do it, though.
that's perfect behind the wall. I mean, Floor is completely safe there. I think that's why you saw Starbound hesitate.
Ooh. Dude, that, okay. This is the version 1 that people have kind of known and expected all year.
I mean, you say
The
that, but
timing. Go on.
I feel like we've been seeing them most of this series, right? We've seen plenty of moments from Sarah, plenty of moments from Floor. I think this is the version 1 with complete structure, complete faith in this, but these players have been stepping up the entire time. I think EG right here are 100% outclassed on this particular map. And
It
that,
certainly shows in the score.
that leads to you seeing a V1 that feels so much better than what we've seen so far. I mean, they're not relying on anything. They're not relying on any crazy plays from Floor. Nothing like that at all. Because they don't need to. The map is just completely controlled by whatever strategy they choose at the beginning.
Right there.
What tools do EG have to get back into this? Seems like they're saving here a little bit. They have more of a punch into the next round. Marshall in the hands of Power. You heard 2 shots rattle off already, actually. No damage done on Sarah. Thea has a lot of pressure coming her way.
Taking that back.
Nothing but a ghost. Another orb farmed in favor of version 1.
I wish we could tell how many orbs have been farmed at the end of the series.
Yeah, actually, that'd be really nice.
Because I feel like it's probably at least 13 for V1, which is more than the rounds, and none for EG.
You should run.
Which would, I mean, that would just be ridiculous and also really indicative of how clean of a performance this has been from version 1.
They just got the plant down to get the lockdown as well, so this retake is not going to come anywhere near as fast, and it's so far advanced that you can't even stick around and spawn.
No, I mean, Power got caught. Floor on the swing. Nice timing out from Quincy, though, to help. They put her life on the line for Power. Alexis turning the flash, snapping back onto Starbound. This looks like wraps.
That was kind of a light buy, though, for EG.
Last
Yeah,
round
it was.
before the switch.
Out of all the loss bonus, you know, you were kind of expecting them to buy up every time, but, you know, they are looking for an off, they are looking for an Odin, those sorts of things. They want any rounds at all. In this comp, I have seen some defensive side swings. Very, not frequently, but it has happened. Meanwhile, look at V1. They're double lopping at this point. They probably got like an Odin on the ground. Yeah.
They're having fun now.
They have
man.
like 4 Vandals too. They can swap to at any point. They've got the whole arsenal from the Matrix available to them.
EG have struggled so mightily on the defensive half of Lotus.
I mean, if you were hoping for a reverse sweep here, which I don't know if there's many people who are hoping for it. If you were, this is exactly the type of dominance you want to see from V1.
Yeah.
This is exactly the type of dominance you expected from V1 coming into the series for a team that, again, I don't have to repeat everything. For the 1000th time. I mean, dude, with 4 ops on the ground, like, how has there not been a single shot fired out? This is ridiculous.
You see this? They have an Odin out in tree. Oh my goodness, stick this?
She's canceling.
Oh, I thought she was gonna
Noya
stick
tried to punish the ult right there. She tried to walk up on it and wait for it to get canceled. But she's so far advanced.
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
And they're going to NP on this. The dog's going to clear the way. We've got Lori who's there to help. Sparpix does get one. Traded right back, though.
Sarah picked up the spike, too, so
Sky's
they're
out.
back in this.
Oh, my gosh.
They're back in this in a big way. 14 seconds, though. They got to get it down. Yeah, they have flames isn't going to be able to deny. I thought maybe, but
No.
Alexis is here.
No, this is just, this is,
It's Jovis.
yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is just an outrageously dominant performance right now from Version 1. For as much as it has felt like an even fight between two teams who have really cool ideas and are pushing each other to the limit, at least on this map, and I think you said it rather succinctly and eloquently earlier, where it just kind of feels like on this map in particular, Version 1 just, or excuse me, EG just feel outclassed. I think we're seeing every single making of that. It's a 10-2 This is the most dominant thing we've seen this series.
Switching
Probably the
sides.
most dominant thing we've seen out of the last like couple days outside of that one Sunset game.
Sky's out.
And that was EG putting down the hurt.
Remaining.
Not as bad as that, but honestly, it feels kind of worse. It doesn't even feel like V1 in most of these rounds have had to break a sweat. Even in that Sunset game where EG 13-0'd Shopify, it was like ridiculous clutches that they needed to pull out to bring that over the line, which, you know, makes sense on a perfect game, but all right, let's see. I mean, the one hope is that V1's attack side is just way, way better. And there's nothing you could do, and any team would actually have lost that, but we're not seeing that at all.
I mean, we often say things like must win. Boy, for EG, this is a must win pistol. You want to have any shot at it, come back here.
Placing swarm grenade.
That nano was intended to clear the Killjoy utility, and as soon as it hit the ground, Alexis cleared it.
Yep.
So all of the Killjoy utility from Noya is still controlling B. Well, that's aggressive. That's very aggressive.
That's a double satchel without even a flash yet from Alexis.
Yes,
I don't
it
know
was.
if it was a little late or what. Probably didn't have one. She probably flashed the Okay, bring it back.
Paranoia.
Dude, Alexis in such a ratty position. Age shows that they know.
They have to face. Oh!
Over
Can she land the second? No. A 1-for-1. Keensey's still healthy. Light armor and a ghost, by the way. Sarah and Noya have taken a little bit of damage.
Can't plant with the smoke
30
up right
seconds
now. They have no
left.
clue what's on the other side.
Yeah, it's a terrifying prospect. As both swing out a
Whoa.
1v1.
Spike down.
Classic
A.
against the ghost. Keensey still swinging around. Keensey gets the pistol for EG.
Second
I mean, it
pistol
may
round
just be a
left for-
blip. It may just be a blip on the heart monitor, but there's some sign of life here.
You know, honestly, if I'm thinking about this in hindsight for EG, obviously
Yeah.
I don't want them thinking this way right now. But like, I'd rather they just lose early rather than build up any hope, so that they can find a way to, you know, just write this map off.
Yeah. Instead
I'm
of the
even starting to speak
heartbreaker
in
loss.
past tense. Yeah, exactly. Like the sort of stuff that we were talking about on Bond. Right? Like, oh, if they lose this, is it going to be so terrible? How are they going to bring it back?
Toxins going up.
Nah, this one's fine. You just shrug this off. You say, okay. Okay. It's a best of 5. All good.
Yeah, we move on.
They did actually have a ridiculous comeback against Complexity, if I'm not mistaken, on this very map. Not nearly as big of a deficit as this. And not nearly as dominant of a start from their opponents as this. And Complexity is probably one of the better Lotus teams.
This would be absolutely ridiculous. But for EG, you can't even really think that far. Just kind of take it a round at a time, clean things up. That's exactly what it is. A flawless round for EG to get them within 6.
Okay.
Still a long way to go, though.
Yeah, this is everything right here. Absolutely everything. Remember, V1 had a flawless bonus, picked up all the records.
Enemy remaining.
Yeah.
Had a massive bank. I mean, that alone contributes so much to the potentials for a streak like V1 did. But it's funny because I'm pretty sure they got eco'd the next round. But you see
Yeah,
the
they did,
resilience
yeah.
that you have after a massive start like that. So, EG,
Right.
if they can get off to it same way, that is different. It's so tough.
Keenty satcheling forward, still with the Marshall.
My ult's ready.
And Starbound might be able to find some timing here.
Remember, Floor got the ults up on the 3rd round too. So does Keency.
Yep.
They're ready.
Screen down.
That's the first kill.
Ooh.
That's an entry onto the site.
From your Viper, no less.
And they're playing up. This is maybe
Yes,
not
they
what
are.
V1 expected.
It's aggressive and is rewarding them with a kill. Showstopper online now. Oh, a huge kill out from Mel.
That bitch is stuck
Can
down there.
Keenty find any value there? You've
thought
got
she
to
was
know
gonna go
Alexis
with
is
the drop.
close, right? And Nate is going to help, trying to pull the hand off of Sarah.
Enemy remaining.
And the clean shot from Keency. This looks like another bonus balla. That's exactly what it is.
Oh my goodness. That's
Easy now.
That's exactly what they needed to be delivered here. Look at the bot. Look at the bank. Look at the money. All right, follow the script. V1 eco them right here, and then lose the rest of the rounds. We'll go to OT. You know, I find it. I'm getting some deja vu here, Doug.
Oh boy.
I'm getting some deja vu. I don't know what yet, but this this feels familiar. This feels really familiar. I'm not even talking about just like this round. I'm talking about the overall game, like a 10-2 half type of thing.
You're reliving Premier nightmares.
No,
No, I can't.
somebody named Billy is coming to mind. Somebody Billy.
Four sheriffs left in the hands of version 1. As Noya has fallen. It's going to be a 2-man flank coming out. The alarm bot
Found them.
from Starbound, keeping him back. There's the first. Got a turret too, playing this very wisely, very carefully to make sure he's not overwhelmed. And well, Starbound was overwhelmed. Tay is here to help hold the line though, alongside Keency. See Floor satcheling across, trying to stay alive. Can't. That's where the gap is down to 4. It was a 10-2 half, by the way.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was us, wasn't it? Billy versus DRX. 10-2 half. Responded with a perfect half. A 12-0 half to just end the game.
Yep.
That was us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
All right. No, just keep that in mind.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it feels familiar. That's all.
2 ops in play. 1 for each. And they both narrowly missed their targets.
I swear, if Floor got dropped there, I would have been a full believer. I'm not quite full blown yet, but
You're close.
oh,
This might. Oof.
such a
Man,
good
that
spot.
seemed like that was going to connect. The dog pushing forward. Keenzy's already in.
Stun.
And they ulted into the smoke. There are 2 members here. They stuck it.
Oh my God!
Keenzy gets onto Sarah. What a play.
He's getting spammed. Noya's dead. No way.
3 HP and Lori finishes it off.
A second unresponded kill.
Like this?
You got me getting hyped now. 3 players
Yeah.
are going to save instantly. I mean, they're holding on to the bank. They're starting to believe. V1 are running for the hills. Assist is down to 3.
What on earth do we have here? Floor's gonna keep the op for version 1. That seems to be in safe hands and carried over into the next round as the gap slowly but surely whittles its way
They're
down.
chasing.
Now to 3.
They've got so much time here.
I don't know if they have that much time.
You're right.
Oh, you want to keep that.
My goodness.
Okay, all good. We still have 2 ops in play. Also, quick note here. Yeah, it looks like that is going to be the case. The op on version 1 has been handed over to Noya. Floor has the showstopper, decides to invest into a Vandal.
What in the world?
Is she going to want to go fast here? They have a flash.
Am I down for the A control? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Placing swarm grenade.
I'm just wondering how much they invest here.
Yeah, I'm looking at how it's can't get punished. You hop on the other side. That's twice EG has gone for that same pick. And they also have an op swap right now, which Keensy's going to use in the post plant while also taking massive space, literally. Two at the
The rich
same
get
time.
richer. Wait, that's a really deep plant.
Oh my
Spike
gosh.
planted.
That's so deep. Noya with the crosshair trained.
Pushing so far.
Starbound has no idea. Uh-oh. Floor drops. Yep, there it is. Took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but ultimately comes to do.
It's traded too on the
Still
other
in the hands
side.
of Noya. Connects onto Lori. Lockdown in hand. 3v2. This Power Pixel feeling a lot of pressure of the spam. Not going to connect as Mel pitches in from the other side. Dea surrounded. Power Pixel surrounded. Round in favor of version 1.
That was close. I mean, moments there where you thought for sure, especially Lori spamming those 2 players who were pushing inside of Waterfall there as Alexis goes for the Trailblazer. I thought she was going to get a random headshot there for sure.
Figure out what they do.
And we're back to 4. We're back to V1, feeling a little bit more comfortable. If that round went out of hand,
Time out.
they would have been, I mean,
Placing swarm grenade.
biting their fingernails the
Placing
entire
swarm
way.
grenade.
Awkward silence in the timeouts as everybody understands, like, figures out what's going down. Now it's a little bit more comfortable. It's okay. We're not letting this slip. We got this.
Really fast there.
Surprising.
Floor taking the aggressive line and denying all that space to EG early.
Yeah, it's surprising that Power Pixel was even able to get some damage down on floor.
Looking for more.
Spike down.
And Nano's going to hurt. Very well handled by Power.
Yeah, on the other side too, though. Losing there, has the smokes. Have to try to fight back this aim made.
And surely you end here, right? This is where your wall is.
Going up.
The problem is there's so many big ults now for V1. I mean, you've got the Seekers, you've got Mel, who is fantastic with your Cosmic Divides. You kind of have to be poking and prodding at all the different sides, which is what EG's doing. Flash clears B, that might cue them to actually walk up into B, but with the Seekers pop, there's not many options.
So Power, if I'm not mistaken, Power Pixel walked over their world. They're dead. Never mind. That's now both controllers gone.
Yeah.
Any obfuscation of vision of lines is no longer available.
And
They're not able to land the shot.
lockdown's perfect too.
Yep.
They're going to get the
The
pop.
nade not going to land. Can you convert
30 seconds
with the
This is impossible.
feeling some of the pressure?
Look, the situation's already impossible. They're committing to this plant, and Mel has her Cosmic Divide. The only hope they have is, the Showstopper delays enough that this Cosmic Divide there's actually a gap to walk out on the right there. Whoa, they're going to
they're
recognize this.
They're both so concerned.
This
Now
one's,
pushing forward.
they've got time
Flash
now.
on the other side. Keatsy's taking so much damage from the Molly. 34 HP. Sarah's already gotten it 3/4 of the way. It's got to happen fast, and it's not going to happen. Version 1 map point.
Match point.
Just 2 in a row for V1, but it's enough to make it feel like EG's hopes of making this a 3-0 sweep might have just slipped right out of our hands as they started making it just interesting enough. That Cosmic Divide combo with the lockdown is just too brutal to commit to a plant there. They didn't really have the choice. They didn't have time. Maybe they could have got through the revolving door back towards C, but even then, I'm pretty sure Noya's util was still up and ready. There's a timeout for EG. It's just crazy that this is only their second timeout. Remember, they lost the first half 10-2.
Yeah.
They're still going to get a chance to really talk about how to bring this back.
5 rounds down. Meanwhile, version 1, I don't remember exactly what the economy looked like, but
I mean,
they have a comfortable pad.
Off that win with like 3 players staying alive, I think they're chilling. Might have been even 4.
Anyone have fun
The person who might have fallen was Floor at the beginning. No,
Actually, it's not as great as I thought it was.
Yeah. It's actually EG who still has such a nasty bank off of that streak at the beginning. This aggro, though, coming in from B1, they're going to push up with the op inside of B here. Floor, big chance to find an opening pick. Keensy's trained on A with the op. I thought for a second she was behind that turret. No, it's the sky instead.
Saw the jump spot. Does Mel dare do it again? So far back now. Dancing with death on more than one occasion.
Blinded.
Meanwhile, the Flash getting some info. I mean, take a look at what's happening towards A. You've got 2 stars, 2 nanos, an alarm bot, and the turret.
Yeah. Only allowed because this pit towards C allows for one person to play it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, there's grinder setups with the grab ball possible. They've even got the orb here too. That's crazy.
So they've gotten up this far. Yeah, that orb came out from spawn, by the way, before the round even started,
Yeah.
which was nuts.
And it's just covered up, but lockdown might actually nullify everything. Noya's gonna stay and try to get 1 kill on her way out. Ooh.
But nothing is found. So they create some space and EG move forward. Up in the hands of Keensey. I don't know that there's anything
Silent
to
drop.
control that. They're going to drop the pit of their own. Lori has fallen. Mel pushing forward.
That's so good for Mel. She drops on the rope silently.
Oh, the wall was big. But as it goes down, Alexis does too. 3v3, still 2 ops in play. And Keensey find another. Sarah has fallen.
This pit's too tough. Pit's down though.
Oh!
Oh my goodness.
Starbound with 4. And EG stay alive.
It's ridiculous what this team is able to do off of 2 weeks. I know they're up 2-0 already. I know we've said it so many times, but this feels even more different to me.
Enemy remaining.
Clutch moments from Starbound here. Their newest addition, somebody who hadn't made a main event up to this point. And here they are doing it against the best of the best. And they've broken the icon of version 1. You were pointing it out before this round. It wasn't perfect. And they invested multiple ults in this one. And that's going to lead to them being a little bit on the back foot here. While EG, in the meantime, are super happy with everything they can get. Got to keep it clean. Looks like a real maybe with a flash from Alexis.
There's so many people here.
They might drop
4.
the wall with a flash here.
Yep.
Anti.
Maybe or a stun.
They're playing anti.
Wow.
There's 2 people playing anti there, Doug. It's just
That's
perfect.
outrageous.
And that's exactly how you get a flawless round. Reading it almost before the IGL of V1 calls it. And maxing the orbs too right now for Lori to get up to her Seekers.
Okay. EG get to 9. You take a look at the money. Still seems okay for EG. In case things get a little sour.
Remaining.
Man, you were right. They knew that was coming.
A mile away.
Yep.
Still at 2 timeouts for version 1. They're going to use 1 right now, but this is what I was talking about earlier, right? That awkward silence where it's like, this was a 10-2 half. And yeah, I do have, remnants of that old game. And Premier, like you said earlier, that you did know. I have firsthand experience, but still, like, V1 doesn't.
Yeah.
V1 doesn't. They don't throw leads like this ever. I mean, they've never lost a map. That speaks volumes in and of itself as to how infrequent this happens. And this is kind of what I think ended up in a real tough champions run for Mel specifically last year. Was that team won all year leading up into the international. They won all year. Got kicked at LAN for the first time, and then, that's something you've never dealt with before.
Right.
Here again, they've won all year. Sometimes that's the biggest problem with teams like this that are so historic.
Out.
When it comes down to it, the history doesn't speak for itself.
Right.
Satchel out.
Again, another fast hit towards A. Floor pushes forward.
Wait, the TP
Thea's ahead of
cross.
it. Oh, Thea's ahead of it! Thea gets a second!
That's ridiculous.
I mean, that's bloody criminal!
That's ridiculous. That's so crazy. And that's not normally what you're able to do there against most comps on Lotus, but this one specifically doesn't have any stun, doesn't have a seize. That sort of stuff is far and away a little too aggro there.
Yep. Easy now.
Not going to hurt too much. Again, that bank is just continue to roll. Got to keep it.
Molly's
clear
gonna
there.
hurt, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, Lori's dead. That's vulnerable. That's vulnerable.
1v5? It's a 1v2 now.
Yeah.
It's
That
not
would
the
be
right
an
plan.
ace. Oh. It had to be an ace for Sarah to pull it off. Meanwhile, it's Thea, who actually had an outrageous round.
How are we within 2? How are we within 2?
Dude, this TP forward from Thea at the beginning of the round was just so aggressive and ambitious.
It's crazy.
And in your face.
When I saw it, I thought she was actually going to TP all the way to revolving door, but notice his floor is completely flashed up. And I think also picking up earlier, Floor looking forward while she's making that satchel, never looking back. And you can easily catch that flash every time. They're going to fight again, Doug. This is full eco, though. Not full eco. This is full Guardian Judge.
They've both satcheled right around each other. Floor taking so much damage. Lori trying to punch back. And it's all Starbound. I mean, an outrageous turn of events. Happening so quickly and leaving Starbound all alone.
It reminds me of the end of Haven, right, where they both barreled down A. Again. Yeah. Starbound. Can they do it?
I mean, a 1v3. Again, just to keep this thing alive.
Alexis picked
Version
up a gun
1.
too, so everybody's equipped. Oh, she's gonna walk into the judge.
This is the sad way for it to end.
No.
Just like that.
Defenders win.
Version 1 avoid getting swept in the grand finals. They take down EG on map 3, and they force us over to Breeze, which is going to be map 4 in this series. I mean, it was clean ball. It was very, very clean. Again, a 10-2 half, and things got a little spicy. Just get people reinvigorated back at home. But, and well closed out at the end.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, reinvigorated. Not the way that ended. That comeback was definitely nice. But it's interesting because I think V1 had actually just ended all momentum, like possible. Yeah, sure, they made that comeback, but even just winning this map and winning it in that fashion, at the end of the day, I'm still going to think back to how dominant that was from them. I mean, that was dominant that first half. And you're coming off of EG just feeling like they were at the top of the world, feeling like they were about to sweep V1 in the finals, feeling like they were about to go to Brazil, and they've been brought back down to earth. So that's a lot to reckon.
A breath of hope, a fresh breath of hope at that for Shopify Rebellion, for all their fans watching back at home. We're going to throw it to a break. Breeze on the other side of this. Stay tuned.
I wish for the amazing new iPhone 15 Pro.
Sean, do you mean this one, the one with titanium? Switch to Verizon. You can trade in any iPhone and get the new iPhone 15 Pro on them.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition for a new iPhone 15 Pro on us, only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.